So I'm going to just take a little bit of my time. That's okay. Obviously, I'm Olga's husband. She was my best friend, the mother of my children. When I found out that she was rushed to the hospital in New Jersey, she used to make fun of me because every time she'd travel, I'd probably check her location maybe 10, 12 times a day to see where she is. If I knew when she was supposed to board a flight, I would check around that time to see if she was near there or if something happened. And I was at the grocery store with the boys. I knew that it was getting close to the time for her to board. She was coming back from South Africa. She was in New Jersey. She was going to board and come back to Charlotte. I checked her location, and something strange happened. At first, my phone had to recalibrate. I couldn't find her. I said, okay, I thought she was at the airport. Next thing you know, it says she's at Beth Israel Medical in New Jersey, in Newark. Shortly after that, my brother-in-law, her brother Josh, called me and let me know what had happened. She had gone down to take a nap. She was tired. So he made a place for her at the gate. And when it was getting close to boarding time, he was having trouble waking her up. What she actually told me the day before she passed, because we were talking about it, the last thing she remembers, she said, when she went down and take a nap, was that she was almost down, but then her head went before the rest of her body, and that was the last thing she could remember from then. It took her a few days to remember how she got to the hospital. But firstly, I want to, just because I'm talking about that, I want to say thank you, Josh. Thank you, Rev, for sending Josh. Because I wouldn't have been able to see her if she was by herself. She would have died at the airport. One thing that my wife would always tell people, whether it's her friends or even myself, when something tragic befell them and they were venting to her, she had a knack for telling you things you didn't want to hear. You know, she wasn't the best at coddling you. If that's the word I'm looking for. She wasn't the best at saying, "Oh, it's too bad for you. I hear." She would say, yeah, "Okay, I hear you, but," and one of the things that she would say is, You mustn't get bitter. She would always say that. You can't get bitter from this. First of all, that is my encouragement to all of us here, is that, yes, there are questions we will never be able to answer. And it hurts. Speaking as someone who's hurting probably the most, we can't get bitter from this. And even though there are questions we're not able to answer, there is wisdom, there is deep wisdom in this for us. We just have to be open to hear what God is saying to each of us. There's a scripture